Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the mic with Mike. It is the premier business radio program in the area. I'm your host, Mike King, and I appreciate you being here with me. The views expressed here mine have no connection to, support, of, agreement with any other host, information, or ads on the station. I don't work for the station. My program just airs here on a daily basis, and I'm thankful for that. Join me as this cutting edge show. We uplift the community and showcase RVA in a different way. The sounds you're listening to most of the time emanate from the palatial studios of ESPN Richmond. Right now, we're coming to you from my house, which is, Corona has sort of, laid waste to some of the plans, but we're coming to you, bringing you the best and the brightest that RVA has to offer. You can follow me on social platforms, hashtag Mike King Biz, hashtag On the Mic with Mike. On the Mic with Mike, we highlight people, partnerships, social enterprise. We also talk to game changers who are out there making the lives of people in our global village better. I'd like to thank our show sponsor, Tom Childry, the credit card guy. If you're a credit card merchant issues, Tom Childry is the man. He's been doing it for more than 25 years. He can help you. He is a business advocate. We also like to thank Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers. If you have things around the house, he can help you. He can help you remove them. So he can help everything from a bicycle to an entire household. But what he can help you do is remove people. So if you need people removed, stop giving gas money, stop cooking, stop doing some of those things, and maybe they might move elsewhere. But Andy Taylor, they're friends of the community, big time supporters. So he'll come and help you clean up, take the things away from your house. He also has the Remix Market, which are things that are donated to him. And then what they'll do is they'll sell them and support the local community charity. So that's why that's my man, Chef Michelle Wilson, Mama Michelle's Cafe, my business mentor from Mama Michelle's Cafe. Make sure you go check her out. All righty. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we are the best and the brightest. That's why, because we get the best guests here. On the mic with Mike, we bring the game changers. I always say if you don't think your social media platforms work, folks, it does. People see you. This lady came across my radar, and I'm like, wow, got to talk to her. We bring to you Dr. Omega Wilson. Dr. Wilson, welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, you are the founder and CEO of Innovative Strategies Consulting. We're going to start off this. Tell us who you are, what you do, and then we're going to dive into some of those things because you're an author, you're an educator, and you came up with the 90-day journal for leaders. Some people may say we're in a time which there may be a leadership vacuum, or we're developing leaders. And the one question is, are leaders born or are they developed? Ma'am, the floor is yours.
I love it. I love it. Thank you again for having me. So I'll just give you a little bit of background information about me, because I know we got a lot of people listening in. I'm originally from Farmville, Virginia. If you don't know how historic Farmville, Prince Edward County is, please Google it, look it up, Brown versus Board, all that good stuff. I'm a civil rights baby. Former teacher, former principal, two-time principal, middle and high school principal, director of high schools for education here in Henrico County, and former vice president of operations for a dropout recovery program. Three-time adjunct professor here at 3 universities, blah, blah, blah. But to answer your question, yeah, I started Innovative Strategies Consulting in 2014. And we are an educational consulting business dealing with life coaching, training, public speaking, all of that. What we do, we work a lot with school divisions, helping superintendents take their divisions to the next level, helping educators, teachers, principals go to the next level in their careers as well. In addition to that, we're multifaceted. In addition to that, we have a huge component of leadership that we hone in on with school divisions, with churches, with different organizations, meeting with those leadership teams in those divisions to help reduce or to help with retention, I should say, to help build and grow leaders. We do an assessment of leaders or with leaders to help them become better leaders and take their careers to the next level as well, and to take themselves to the next level. But like you said, yeah, I penned a book, got it right here.
That's right. Now that's what we do here. You got to put it up. There you go.
Yeah, you can see it. I got this background on, so sorry. Lead by example. It's a 90-day journal for all leaders. A lot of people ask me, they're like, is it just for educators? No. It's actually, I should have said a 90-day journal for everyone, to be 100% honest with you, because everybody needs this journal. Trust me. It's a 90-day journal. What does it include? It includes a daily reflection, a daily focus, a daily affirmation because I'm strong on speaking over yourself and speaking positivity over yourself. If you don't speak over yourself and believe in yourself, you can't really expect somebody else to do that. Also, it includes a leadership question so that you can assess yourself as a leader and as a person. You know, a lot of times people point the fingers at others and they believe that they're not where they are because somebody's holding them down. Well, you got to ask yourself, first of all, did you do yourself right? Have you done yourself justice in a lot of situations? Sometimes you got to put yourself on punishment. We'll get into that later. But
that is true.
Also,
yes.
Yeah, it has a 30, 60, 90-day goals page and to-do list and all of that. So I strongly suggest you can purchase it at bit.ly/lead by example journal. Again, bit.ly/lead by example journal. Phenomenal. When you purchase it, I'll autograph and send it directly to you. Also, to answer your question, Mike, are leaders born, or did you say are leaders born or made?
Which one are they? Because sometimes you hear a person's a natural born leader. Can a person learn leadership qualities to be better at what they are?
Personally, this is just my personal answer, and it's not something that statistics have shown or theory states. I think both. I honestly think both. And in a time like now, I think a lot of leaders are being made. You know, whether they were born leaders or not, I don't know. That's a little deeper than me. I can't get all deep like that. But I think that you do have some leaders who are born. But I think that a lot of people don't know their own strength. They don't know their own greatness. Let me say that. So I'm a firm believer. I love building leadership capacity. That's, as kids say nowadays, that's my jam. I love building and growing leaders. Absolutely love it. Because if there's nothing I know, Mike, I know education, administration, and leadership.
All righty, on the mic with Mike, Dr. Megan Wilson of Innovative Strategies Consulting. Ma'am, when a person comes on the program, one of the benefits of having your own radio show is you can ask every question you always wanted to. And the person's right there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask it. You, madam, are speaking for educators out there. Where the next generation of you guys going to come from, of educators? Because we put a lot on back in the day. So my kids are older. I have grandkids now. If your kid didn't have a total meltdown going to kindergarten, you were a great parent. There's a lot of pressure. Teachers now have to be teachers, sociologists, psychologists, nutritionists, all those things. And we're going into this whole Corona thing. Are we being able to inspire the next generation of leaders, student teachers, educators out there?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. And it's going to take people like us with a proven track record to do it. You know, and this isn't any shame on anyone, but I will toot my own horn and say there are not a lot of people who are willing or ready or able to do what I'm doing. And that's one thing that makes my consulting business a lot different than anybody else's. People ask me that question all the time. First of all, I have a proven track record of success. This is my 30th year in education. I really can't believe it. I got started in 91 and it's been 30 years.
Congrats.
I can't believe it.
Congratulations.
When
you started out, did you think that, what was the okay, so this is a business show. What was the transition from the education to the entrepreneur world?
I didn't know I was going to be an educator. Let's start right there.
Okay.
Let's start there. When I went to Virginia Union undergrad, I majored in English because I like to read and write. I had no idea what I was going to do.
Okay, honestly, you just like to read and write, and you were going to go there for English. So yeah, you're over at the campus of historic Virginia. Hey, shout out to Dr. Lucas and the great things that's happening over.
Shout out to VUU. Go Panther.
Yes, for sure. Oh, and also, by the way, my good friend, Dr. Danny Gladden Green is over there with the Women's Business Resource Center.
Yeah.
If you don't know, folks, that is the place. If you're a minority or woman-owned business, that is the place. That's the connection. So a shameless plug to my friend, Dr. Danny over there.
I love it.
All right, so now we're gonna get back. So you're over at Union.
Yeah,
studying English. And what happened?
Studying English, and I graduated. My mom always told me, she's a retired educator. My dad is a retired
okay, there you go.
professor. And my mom told me the entire time I was there, Mike, she's like, take some education courses. You know me, I was on a whole different thought pattern at that particular time. I was not thinking about any education courses because I would go back home and substitute teach. And I told my mother during spring break and Christmas and all that, just to get some change in my pocket. I'm like, I ain't teaching them bad kids. That's what I said back then.
And so here you are, 30. Never. Okay, here you go.
You never say never. So I went back home to Farmville, had to live with my parents because I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have a job. I don't know why I thought that I was going to be an anchor woman, Mike. I don't know where that came from. I thought, God rest her soul, this week, of course, last week, whichever. I thought I was going to be like the next Lisa Schaffner, who just
Okay.
passed, or Gwen Williams. I don't know why I thought they were just going to pick up the phone and say, hey, you want to be an anchor? Didn't take any journalism courses. I don't know.
You just were
But
doing special.
yeah. But anyway, someone called my mother and a friend of theirs who actually was director of special ed for Goochland Public Schools. And she was like, I have a board sub position. You think Omega wants to do that? And I'm like, board sub for special ed. Took it. One thing led, that was my first teaching job. Taught there for 2 years and went to Caroline County, came to Henrico County. Someone tapped me. This is what I'm talking about where leaders are born and created. Pearl Clark, former assistant principal at Hermitage High School, met me in the conference room, the copier room. And she said, I want you to go back to school to get your master's in administration and supervision. You need to be an assistant principal. And I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do that, but I appreciate it. Thanks for your vote of confidence in me. And she's like, no, go do it. There's tuition reimbursement. And I'm like, well, I have 2 small kids, and she was like, we'll help you with that. Apply for the administrative aid position. And I'm like saying to myself, this lady is tripping. Long story short, I'm not kidding you. Long story short, see, I wasn't one of those ones, Mike, where I had on my bucket list, I'm gonna become an assistant principal, director. It didn't work like that for me. So I got in school and another assistant principal told me once I finished, she's like, there's a position over there, an AP, assistant principal position at Virginia Randolph, the only alternative high school in Henrico County. She said, it has your name on it. You need to apply. And I'm like, I ain't going to that bad school, an alternative school. Needless to say, I applied, stayed there for 3 years, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. I was at Virginia Randolph and someone told me, you need to apply for the principalship at Mount Vernon Middle School, one of the 2 at that time middle schools in Henrico County. Applied, got it. Didn't know what I was doing, Mike, to be 100% honest with you, as far as goal setting or anything. I just didn't have that at that time. Then when I was at Mount Vernon, someone tapped me. A lot of people tapped me and said, the principalship for Hermitage High School is open. Please come back home and be the principal. And I'm like, of 2,300 kids, you want me to do that? That's like a town. That's a small town. So needless to say, I applied, had done the work. Then I was kind of voluntold to be director of high schools for education for Henrico County, which I absolutely loved. And it's crazy. Then a former superintendent called me and was like, I want you to be vice president of operations for this dropout recovery program. And I'm like, what in the world? So I did not seek out to say, I want to do this. I'm going to put in a whole lot of work so I can do this. I didn't know. I was just working, doing my job, helping kids, helping educators, growing leaders. And these are the results that came from it. So I think it was after a year of being vice president of operations or so, I'm like, I can go ahead and do my consulting business full time. Why am I not doing this full time? So I just took a leap of faith and said, let me just go ahead and do it. Let me just do this full time. The 3 books were birthed during that time. And this book came out, of course, this year. This journal came out this year. But yeah, it wasn't something that I had sat down long and hard, and not to get, churchy or anything. I just trusted God on the whole process. It wasn't like when I got one job, I'm like, I'm going to be here for 5 years. And then it wasn't like that for me. A lot of people are, trying really, really hard to get in administration or senior leadership or whatever. That wasn't my story. That wasn't my song. But I'm just blessed to have had mentors and coaches who coached me along the way, who allowed me to stand on their shoulders so that I can be where I am today. And that's another reason why I'm so passionate. I'm so passionate, Mike, about growing leaders. It's not about the money for me. It's about helping people to get where they want to be in life. I've always been a server. That's something my parents put in us when we were younger. But I love to be able to grow leaders. I just love it. I love being able to see the potential in others that they can't see in themselves and pull it out them. Somebody was working with a client the other day and she said, you're going to make me work, aren't you? I'm like, yes, ma'am. You're going to get this job. You're going to get this job. And I'm going to lay out this plan for you. Because I know the blueprint. A lot of people think you have to come up with some hocus pocus, Jedi mind trick or anything. All you have to do in leadership, administration, education, follow the blueprint. The pandemic is another level now. That's a whole nother level. There's no blueprint for that. But, if you just lean on your trusted agents and lean on your mentors and coaches, you're going to be okay. I really believe that.
One of Mike, Dr. Omega Wilson is here with us. She is a game changer out there, doing
Thank you.
big things. When I ran across your bio and your story, I'm like, on the mic, we had to have you on the program because it's very important what you're doing.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about now where we are. So when you run across school districts, what are school districts lacking? And now that we're all in an influx of what's happening, going back, not going back. These are when people always throw around unprecedented times, you know, all those seem to pale now to this right here. This really is. Talk about the state that you see it and the challenges that parents have and school districts have. Give the one that school districts are having that parents don't know, that we're just mad at the school district.
Don't be mad at the school district, please. Promote school, please. Please, I'm speaking as an educator, as a parent, as a coach, as a consultant. Please don't be mad at school districts. This is what you got to realize. For the most part, people are doing the best that they can. Nobody has figured this thing out. No one knows what school is going to look like for the upcoming school year. There is no blueprint for this part. And they're trying to figure it out. You might have a schedule one day and then it flips to be the next day. But the one thing that I can say, parents, we need your support. Community members, we need your support. This is the perfect time for you to partner with a school division if you have not done so already. There have been years and years and years where, no disrespect, I'm a parent, where parents, community members have said the school should be doing, well, why don't you get in there now and help them do it? Whatever it is that you see is flawed, I challenge you, parents, I challenge you, community members, churches, organizations, sororities, fraternities, whomever you may be, partner up right now with a school division, partner up with a principal, with the school. They need your help. I don't care whether they say they don't, they need your help. Everybody needs help right now because we don't know what's going to happen. You can see that there's a rise, of course, in the pandemic now, and kids are getting COVID. They're going back to school. Some schools have already opened, and some schools are experiencing large numbers of COVID cases. Okay, so we don't know what's going to happen. But to answer another question that you asked, what do schools need? Rock solid teachers who are willing to weather the storm. And shout out to all the educators who are returning. First of all, let me say that, and that's not to, dim anyone's light at all or speak ill of anyone who resigned, retired, or walked away from education. That's not to do that at all. But I have to say a shout out to all of the educators, first of all, because education has never been for the faint at heart. It has never been for the faint at heart.
No, it has not, because the ones in the classroom always took you to task. And as the parent, it was always, what did the teacher say? Because clearly, I don't understand this. If you had been listening, you would know, because the teacher told you everything you needed to know, which put a lot of pressure on the educators in the classroom.
Yeah, but education has never been for the faint at heart. And to say that educators are going back in the ring for a second time, or 2.5 or 3, however you want to count it, are getting back in the ring to try it again and figure it out. Understand that education is hard work. This is hard work. If you're in it for the right reason, it's hard work and it's hard work. So
I never heard that one. Man, I'm straight up stealing that.
You can take it. It's okay. I got it from my mentor, Mr. Bill Parker. I tell you, he allows me to stand on his shoulders all the time.
Hard work.
Yeah, it's hard work. It is. You got to be passionate about this thing. It's not about the pay. It's servant leadership, as you know. So we need people who are willing to weather this storm with us, people who are not going to throw in the towel, and people who are going to understand that this is going to be a rocky road. We're not going to paint a picture that it's not. We can't possibly paint that, but educators or school systems right now need people who are willing to weather the storm. We need community members. We need faith-based organizations to come in to help. I don't know what help they need. They may need some monitors in the cafeteria. They may need somebody to put up signs. They may need somebody to maybe possibly cook a meal for after school event or activity or parent conference or something. I don't know. But I just want to encourage the faith-based organizations to get more involved in where they are. A lot of times people don't know if they're overstepping their bounds or if they should be allowed. Please make yourself, visible. Introduce yourself to the principals in your division, in your neighborhood. And the same thing for community members, restaurants. If you're a manager at a restaurant, offer your services somehow or another. They need help. Education and educators need help and support prayer, and love. That's what's needed right now.
Dr. Omega Wilson is here with us. All right, we're going to shift over to leadership now from the business standpoint.
Okay, love it.
Let's talk about what you see from where the state of leadership is now. From a business, when people look at business owners, business managers, what's the one glaring kind of thing that kind of stands out at you as a leadership expert?
As a leadership expert right now, to be honest with you, as far as businesses and organizations are concerned, I think people are not the majority, but a lot of people are just lost and they don't know what to do. And, you know, some of the choices that are being made are not really favorable or popular, I guess I should say, you know, and people don't know what to do. But just like it goes with education, leadership is leadership. Here's what you have to realize. Everything rises and falls on leadership. My mentor, John Maxwell, always says that. So when you're in these leadership positions, you have to lead with love, number one. You can't get in these positions or stay in these positions and expect your business or your company to flourish if you're not going to lead with love. So what does that look like? Your company is going through something different. Your company may be experiencing whatever it may be, but understand so are your employees. Your employees are experiencing whatever it may be during the pandemic. So you want to be sensitive to that. You have to be sensitive to the needs of your people. You have to let them know that you care about them. You have to let them know that you respect them and you love them as well. And sometimes in the heat of the moment of some of this craziness that's going on, I've seen so many leaders lose sight of that. And I don't care what you're leading or who you're leading. Whatever it is that you're leading, you have to lead with love first. And I've seen that, you know, just removed in so many instances because people have so much anxiety, they have so much mistrust, they have so much confusion, and they don't know what to do, but lead with love. Second thing you got to do, talk to your people, whoever it may be. Everybody in corporate needs a mentor as well. That doesn't just go for education. That does not just go for education. You need a mentor, you need a coach, somebody who you can bounce different things off so that you won't make these quick, fast decisions in a hurry, okay? Because you want to make sure that you can take it into consideration your employees and different people that you're working with as well. I hope that answers your question.
It does answer it. On the mic with Mike. So, Dr. Wilson, how can people find you out there?
You can find me by emailing me. I'm actually on all social media platforms, and I believe my name is the same on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Dr. Omega Wilson. You can email me at omega@iscllc.consulting, and ISC LLC is Innovative Strategies Consulting, in case you hear a lisp or something. Again, my email address is omega@iscllc.consulting. Feel free to reach out to me by phone, 804-218-1410. I'm excited about this upcoming year because I am doing a lot of coaching with corporations and businesses and higher education, which I'm excited about doing, public speaking, all of that. I'm really excited about that.
So, I don't know if you understand the way it works now. Now you're part of the family. You got to come back. Do you have anything? You have anything that you want to let folks know that you have going on right now or this is the time to plug, shameless plug for you, your books, whatever you want to talk about really quickly?
Yeah. So for educators, I am hosting an upcoming Ready and Recharge workshop with Dr. John Gordon, who's the superintendent of Suffolk Public Schools here in Virginia. We are actually hosting that workshop for educators who are ready to take their careers to the next level. And that is going to take place this Saturday, August 28th from 9 to 3. All you have to do, you can inbox me for the information or just go to bit.ly Ready and Recharged ED 2122. Also, for educators on September 1st, I am hosting a master class for educators. We're going to talk about communication and organization, which is key for all leaders. If you're a leader, you can hop on there too. You don't just have to be an educator. But 2 upcoming workshops. And then, of course, for everyone who is listening, I would ask if you please support me and purchase my journal that I penned this year, Lead by Example, a 90-day journal for all leaders. And you can purchase that at bit.ly /Lead by Example journal. And again, if you're looking for a public speaker, if you're looking for someone to do a workshop, a seminar, something along that nature on leadership, feel free to contact me, 804-218-1410, omega@iscllc.consulting, or inbox me on any of the platforms. And if you're looking for a mentor or a coach, I'm here to help you.
There you go. That's the magic right there. I got to connect you with Dr. Danny over at the Resource Center. You guys would be a perfect match. Alrighty, on the mic with Mike, we bring you the best and brightest. We'd like to thank Dr. Wilson for coming on the program. Doc, thank you so much. As I say, we bring you the best and the brightest on the mic with Mike. It is part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network, ESPN Richmond 106.1, 5 to 7 a.m., as well as The Choice 105.3, 2 to 3 daily. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Doc, take care. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you soon, folks. Take care.